My modular rig here, my little modular rig, my little nifty case is now full. Full in terms of it's got 10 power supplies and it's got 10 modules in it. So it is sort of complete. That being said, I just bought a couple of new modules. So why am I doing that? Well, passive modules that don't need power is a thing. Let's install a couple of passive modules. So these are two modules from Takaab. Takaab? I don't know how you pronounce that. An SMULTI and an SMIX. And I guess these are kind of like, sort of like mini patchbays, I guess. Ooh, yeah. Stickers, awesome. I'll use them. Look at these little babies. Beautiful. This is... oh yeah. This is something called an SMIX. Is that the wrong way around? SMIX. Okay. So as you can see, they don't, you know, it's just yeah, doesn't need any power. So this can take 1, 2, 3 inputs in and send 1 out, and then here 1, 2, 3, 4 in, 1 out. But I also think it can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in and 1 out. Okay. So that's the idea of that guy. And then this other one, the SMULTI. This is more like a kind of patch bay kind of scenario. That's this guy. So here we can have 1 in and then 1, 2, 3 out, 1 in, 1, 2, 3, 4 out. So it's kind of like the SMIX but backwards. So these two, and they're two HP units, right? So these two guys will go at the end there. But it kind of means Mr. Gurr is going to have to find a new home. Sad times. All right, there we go. That's the full majesty of it. These are the 2 new modules here. Just slot them in just next to my mixer. It seems to me logical to have the mixer at the end there. Yeah, if these prove useful, I could sort of fill the rest of the rack up, sort of, further down here with some of these elements. These cost about £30. Yeah, so quite cheap. And I'll just go into my little workshop and make a new panel, just to keep the dust out of it, and then we are good to go. Black clothes, black coffee. I am the Coffee Ninja. Just back from Coffee Ninja training. So secretive, not even I know I'm a member. Anyway, I'm just going to do a practical demonstration of one of these passive modules, the kind of split mix kind of thing. So we'll go over to the phone over here. So what the scenario here is, my Dofa basic oscillator has got sort of Sharky tooth out, square wave out, triangle wave out, but I can't mix them on the module. So what I've patched in here, see these 3 black cables here, they go all the way, let's move my phone, they go all the way over to here. So that is the SMIX. So here we're having 3 in, 1 out. So you can see those three all go in there, and then this brown cable here is the out, and this goes into my filter over here. Okay, there we go, so that's the brown one, into the filter. So obviously my filter only has one audio in. So here I'm taking my three outputs from my oscillator and going into my kind of split mixy passive module, and then the signal from all three of them goes into my filter. So now we can have our all three glorious oscillators being processed by the filter. And you can hear that now. Ooh, crikey. Sorry about that. Yes, quite pokey, that oscillator. So just to prove that's working, let's go over here. Let's just remove them one by one and then add them back in. So now we should hear nothing. Good. Actually, I don't know what order these are in. Yeah, like a dick. I don't know. Let's try and guess. First one, triangle. Then I don't know what that one is. It's either the shark or the square. And let's add the final one back in. And just to finish it off, let's add some lexicon reverb and a bit of tape delay. And then we can do, because I've got all three of my sort of outputs from my oscillator coming into my filter. Let's open LFO on the filter. Well, what will this do? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, well, that's a bit weird, but you get the idea. So that is the kind of 3-into-1 kind of set, sort of, or example of what you could do with that kind of thing. I'm doing that with audio, but you could probably do it with control voltage as well. Don't quite know what I would do with that, to be honest, but that's possible. Okay, so let's do an example where we sort of take one signal into two or more. So let's look at the SMULTI now. So this is like 1 in, 2 out, or 3 out. This is a bit complicated, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take our control voltage from our Pro one, because that's the setup I really like now. So the modular is all controlled with the Pro one, which is controlled by my DAW via USB in the Pro one. I could use my TD3 for that as well, right? But the Pro one just sounds good. So I am taking the keyboard CV out of the Pro one, and all over here and on the camera phone, we're in the first input of the SMULTI. I realise, looking at this even on the camera phone, that I may add some diagrams to help explain this. It is fairly straightforward, in like once you do it, it kind of makes sense. but just to give you the idea of the use case. So the octave, the note control voltage goes into the SMULTI top in, and then the first out goes to the 1 volt per octave of the oscillator, the Dofa basic oscillator. Okay, so great. Okay, that's fine. Nothing new there. Then the so you can see it's the gate, the gate out, control voltage out, comes over here, and that goes into sort of the second input of the SMULTI. You can just see there where my finger is. And then the first output of that, which is this guy, goes to the gate input of my envelope, which so standard setup. But because this is the SMULTI, I can have that 1 in, 2 out. So if we go back to the SMULTI, the second output for the note is this cable here that goes into my 1 volt per octave input on pluck, and then the second out from the SMULTI, which is this cable here. This is ridiculous. Goes into the trigger for the for the pluck. So basically, what I is doing, I'm taking the control voltage from the Pro one into that SMULTI, and then sending the sort of the pitch information to the Dofa basic oscillator and the pluck, and I'm sending the gate to the gate that will affect the basic oscillator and the trigger for pluck. So we can hear on the mixer down here, mixer there, we can hear basic oscillator. Let's turn that down and let's dial in pluck. Oh yeah, you can, oh yeah, oh. Pluck from this 2 HP. It's the most beautiful sounding module ever. Oh, beautiful. But of course, because we're using the SMULTI, we've got access to everything, so we can mix in the Dofa basic oscillator and pluck. And if you don't like the harshness of the oscillator there, we can just say, let's take away the sharp tooth and the square wave and just have triangle and pluck. Sorry, it's a bit pokey. Better hall reverb, better tape delay. Jazz. And that pluck will just ring until tomorrow. And come back after breakfast tomorrow morning, and that pluck will still be like going, yeah. Okay. I'm going to stop recording on the phone. Let's call it a day. So passive modules, they're a thing, and they're kind of utilitarian, I would say. That's okay, right? That's good. And I've just demonstrated 2 examples of routing audio to different places and routing control voltage to different places. So yeah, passive modules, awesome, very useful, very nice. I've got space in my little skiff there for one more thing, which I think will be another passive module. I know I can get a passive mixer, which is, I kind of didn't know that when I bought my little tiny mixer, that it is powered. So or maybe I was looking today at some kind of 1/4-inch jack output hoofy doofy thing. So that would be nice, because I can have proper jacks coming out of the modular into my mixer. That could be cool. Anyway, yeah, usual stuff. If you're new here, hello, welcome. We play with synths and sometimes guitars and sometimes basses. Stick around if that's your cup of tea. Like the video if you choose. Subscribe if you haven't. And yeah, all right. Cheers. Ta-da.